What's going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here with the fanboy Mr. Dr. Blevins in the house tonight because some interesting things happened today. So much for a night off, Mr. Blevins.
Man, it was turned out to be a nice quiet night.
I know it was. It was a quiet night, and then
Quiet night.
we read a couple of articles throughout the day. That maybe a small publishing company was
I was
going
all
to terminate its a relationship with a small distributor.
Yeah, man, I was all snuggled up with my Teddy Ruxpin telling me a story that I've heard about 1,500 times.
But then what triggered? What triggered old fanboy Blevins to reach out to old Nile Pie?
I received an email through the Jeppy family enterprises that basically, explained their side of what happened with this whole DC Comics withdrawal situation.
Hmm.
And I was like, Niall, we have to touch on this. Like, we have to do it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other people doing it, but people want to know what our side is.
Yeah, I mean, and,
Yeah.
and those that know, I mean, we're friends with the Jeppies. They've always been very
Absolutely.
good to us. They're good people. I mean, they've had a wonderful distribution center, right or wrong, whether you like them or not. You could check back to our last episode where we had them on, and they explained how they got to where they got. And what's
And
interesting is about 7 hours ago today.
well, before we get
Yeah,
started, we definitely should let everybody know that this is definitely our opinion of the situation. It was not changed or augmented or anything by our relationship with the Jeffies. Like, this is our legit, idea of how we feel about the situation.
oh yeah, I mean it's incredible. And
Yeah.
Skits is in tonight. Skits, what's going
What's up,
on, man?
skits?
Thanks for joining. But yeah, I mean, so about 7 hours, maybe 8 hours ago, the Hollywood Reporter, I think they were the first one to blast it out there that DC sent out a notification that hey, DC cuts ties with Diamond Comic Distributors, and they actually have a video up now. So Dr. Blevins, I'm going to play this
Let's do
so
it.
people can get an understanding of what this article is about.
Big shift for the comic book industry, DC has cut ties with industry leader Diamond Comic Distributors. The announcement was made via an email to retailers sent Friday morning. A spokesperson from DC told The Hollywood Reporter, after 25 years, DC and Diamond Comic Distributors are ending their long-standing relationship. Moving forward, comic book retailers can obtain their DC books from Penguin Random House or their books and periodicals through Lunar or UCS comic book distributors. Next, Oprah Winfrey is set to
I mean, it's incredible.
Well, let me
they
ask you this.
just they just cut tais with Diamond. I mean,
Absolutely.
is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I mean, let us know in the chat. I mean, you guys are here with us tonight. Marvin, what's up? Heroenberg. Oh, hello, gentlemen. We just came back from a trip to protect a local comic shop from a protest march. I hope you guys were successful because there's a lot of looting going on in the midst of this protesting. But back to, I mean, the topic at hand, Blevins. I mean, this was supposed to be something being worked out. I know that there were some arrangements being made, to work out, do some proposals, things of that nature, which we'll get into with the
Yeah.
letter from Diamond. But just to come and say, nope, no more. We're now going through 3 other outlets.
And that's insane. That's insane. Like, so you cut ties with one, and then you divvy out to 3 others. That, man, have you heard any of these people? I mean, have you heard of Penguin Random House, or any of the distributors that they had mentioned? Lunar.
Well, I mean, I guess that's going to be the test, right? And look, I'm not going to knock. I mean, any competition out there is great. It's healthy.
Yeah,
Maybe it
competition
is.
does.
Maybe it is time that another distributor needs to be on the scene to make things more competitive, what have you. But for a company to just literally take all their eggs out of one basket and then move it without truly testing the waters,
Spread it out to 3 other baskets. Might I
yeah,
add, baskets that are not well known.
exactly. And I do wish them the best. I mean, for all the DC fans' sake out there. But let's see what we got here. The Squash Show says, it's a terrible thing. My friend's shop not going to carry the DC books anymore because he doesn't want to have to purchase comics through his competition comic shops. Yeah,
Absolutely,
exactly. I mean,
absolutely,
your distributors are comic shops. They're
man. And
retail.
dude, not only that, but like these are people that have had the same problem with all the other comic book stores. are the same problem that all the other comic book stores have had. Like they have to shell out all this money, all this time to to get these books in, and they have to make their orders like months in advance. And like you're looking at a situation now where you had a company that offered returns, offered terms, were very lenient on the pay structure, and actually made a decision, like it or not, like their decision was for the comic book shops. People wanted their books, but I mean, look, man, like that heartache on the shops would have been bad.
Oh my gosh!
And
as a former retailer yourself, I mean, think about it. If you can't get the income in, how are you going to pay for the material? And the best choice for a distributor doesn't have to say, "Hey, guess what? You don't have to purchase anymore," or they can say, "Look, you need to continue fulfilling your agreement." But if you have no way to sell your merch, then you have no money to get to pay for the new stuff.
Yeah.
So to put things on pause was the right decision. I'm just wondering if DC's making the right decision, because we all know, and many professionals out there, especially in Twitter land, are kind of, I don't want to say mocking this decision, but they're like, is this going to be another
Heroes World?
There's going to be another line on their long list of not so good decisions.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even in the article that you're reading there, like, they discussed about how Diamond wasn't paying the publishers for the books. Well, man, Diamond wasn't getting the money from the people because they weren't pushing it, because we were in a pandemic. And it proves, kind of reading that, the DC didn't care. Like, they just wanted their money, and they wanted it now. And, like, it seems like if they would have just waited a little bit longer, everything would have quasi been back to normal. But no, they didn't. Instead decide to jump off. And, we learned way more about this from the letter that was received by Jeppy Family Enterprises.
And Herwenberg here, who's crazy. One of our moderators, awesome dude. But he says, and there's a light, because again, for the fans' sake, I do hope things work out one way or the other. But he says someone on the Plan C page talked about signing up for an account with Ingram too, and one retailer from Tulsa said he's been with Lunar 6 to 7 weeks, and it's been very smooth.
Yeah, but how many people have they actually been dealing with? You know what I'm saying?
Now that the shops are opening and looking to
now
order.
That they're opening, it's been very trickled in, so there hasn't been a lot of missteps for them to make. And then also, boom, all of a sudden, they're the only people that can get DC Comics. Other people were still dealing with, with Diamond at that point. And now it's like, okay, boom, here we go. This company who, again, may have been very smooth, but they weren't the sole provider for that comic at that time.
Yeah. This is interesting. Marvin Wynn says, this seems like a power move by AT&T. Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
Yeah,
if that was the case, why didn't they just create their own?
Yeah, and are they really or comp, though? Yeah, I wonder if they really are, competitors. I mean, in this day, with what's going on, how will they compete? Again, we're going to have to see a lot of what's going on. I think this was just kind of like a little bit of a shock to everyone. But I'll have to tell you, Dr. Blevins, I'll be honest, I kind of saw the writing on the wall as a businessman myself. When you make certain moves and certain investments of that caliber, to be short term like that didn't seem like that was truly going to be short term.
Absolutely. When they first started talking about searching out other distributors, I mean, again, that was a telltale sign that it was possibly inevitable. That it was inevitably coming. But to do it in the way they did it, again, I mean, I feel it's though DC absolutely just burned the bridge. Like, they just burned the bridge completely. And I wonder how it's going to be when they come back. And also, like, Diamond was able to give discounts and deep discounts based on quantities that were ordered. And the quantities matched on a total amount. So you had Marvel, Independence, toys. Like, you had all this stuff that equaled out into your big, massive amount of money that you spent, which put you in a tier to get special pricing on your comics. When dealing with a new company, they're not going to automatically just cut their ties or cut their discount to an all-time low to rope people in to just all of a sudden go back and renege on it like they did their agreement and then start charging people that have became um, reliant on one, two, or all three of these distributors. And also, one more crazy thing, this also opens up for insider information. Like these comic book stores, they know what ends up happening in these comics. They end up knowing what makes a book end up being a hit. So when they get all this information, because they get it months in advance before it's even published in previews, like it kind of makes me wonder, like, will they, kind of use that information to their advantage to make sure that the top tier or the close knit comic book stores that are the ones that are doing this are the ones that are going to have the most amount of these hot books at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. It's kind of, everything's so fresh now. I think it'll be a while till we actually see some results on what this is going to be. I think like a good 2 months or more till we're really going to see what this outcome plays out to be.
Yeah, at least until the mass numbers end up choosing which one of the three that they're going to use, or if they're going to sign up for all. And I mean, what happens when you sign up for one and you're like, hey, I need to order, whatever, this book number 12, and this distributor doesn't have it, but they have it at another distributor.
Well, that's the thing. Are you going to start hitting a point where, how many distributors are you ordering from? I mean,
multiple COD, multiple COD charges, multiple shipping charges from different companies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude. And they say that this decision was not lightly made. Again, the letter that we got from Jeppy Family Enterprises kind of tells another story.
Yeah, but I mean, so for those that, maybe just popping on, so I mean, DC just, definitely announced, hey, we're terminating our 25-year, distribution partnership with Diamond. And, now they're going to be, trade paperbacks, those other books, those will be going out through Penguin, Random House. And then the periodicals and your, traditional comic books and stuff will be distributed by Lunar and UCS. What really prompted us to come on again is, everyone's kind of wondering, well, what's Diamond's response to this? Well, as Dr. Blevins being a former technically you're still an online retailer. We got the email, and it's interesting. You can definitely see that you can read that there's a shock in there, and we'll go through it. So it says on June 5th, 2020, this evening I shared the following message with all the members of our Jeppy Family Enterprises teams. I also wanted to share it with you, our many industry partners. Today, DC sent out a retailer communication indicating that they are ending their long-standing relationship with Diamond. In April, we were informed that DC was going to begin distributing products through additional partners. At the time, they asked us to submit a proposal for a revised agreement with the understanding that Diamond would continue to be one of their distributors, which we promptly did. They then requested an extension to June 30th, which we also accommodated. Last week, DC requested an additional extension through July. We responded with questions, and DC indicated they would reply today, June 5th. Instead of receiving a response today, we received a termination notice. While we had anticipated this as a possible outcome, we, like so many others in the industry, are disappointed by their decision to end our partnership so abruptly at this time. Although we had hoped to reach an agreement with DC, every great change also presents great opportunity. Rest assured, Diamond is a strong company, and our success does not depend on the actions of one business partner. While we recognize the change impacts while we recognize the change impacts the industry, we are well positioned to seize growth opportunities and are committed to the success of our publishing partners, the direct market, and our industry as a whole. We continue to be excited about the growth potential in the comic, game, and toy industries, as well as growth opportunities for our other Jeppy Family Enterprise companies. I truly believe that our comeback will be bigger than our setback, and our best days are ahead. Thank you for your continued support and for all you do, Steve Jeppy.
Dude, it's pretty crazy, man.
That's it.
Can you imagine that they, so this pandemic happens, okay? Mm-hmm. They're forced to make the impossible decision, okay? And their decision not only hurt themselves, but was for the betterment of what they felt that the comic book stores needed.
Hmm.
You know, they opted to make this huge decision, and it was a very vital one. You
Yeah.
know, so now they said this huge comeback. You know, like you have the shirt, you're wearing the shirt right now. You know, the comeback. Our comeback will be better than our setback. I mean, it reigns true. Like they have done every single thing that they said they're going to do, and then some. You know,
Well,
I
that and they're putting, they're not. Here's my thought: is you're not thinking of the retailers. They might think they're thinking of the retailers, but test the waters first. Diamond could distribute those books, right?
absolutely, they
Um,
never had a problem.
they and you've had a paused market and you went to another distributor, all right, but the market is not fully open, and even with the current events going on right now, there's still some things that are causing stores and things to remain closed, and maybe even in some areas curbside everything is completely shut down, okay, for safety. And there's no tests right now. There's no true tests from these other distributors. Okay. Now, what's gonna happen if retailers aren't getting their books? What if now the volume is too much? I mean, these are things we're going to have to see. But I think abruptly terminating an agreement, not truly tested in the real market, was a bad move. I really do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if they were going to do it, maybe they should have trickled it off, keeping Diamond, and then trickling off to one distributor, or maybe even trickle it off to two, but still keep it Diamond as their mainstay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason that they should cut the anchor that's keeping their boat in check to
Mhm.
toss out a couple of smaller anchors and pray that it keeps them in place. I mean, it is just a horrible decision
Yeah.
that literally does nothing positive for anybody, and that includes DC Comics. That
Well,
includes DC
again, for
Comics.
the fans' sake, and that's my concern, is for the fans' sake. Look, I hope you get your books. I hope things work out no matter which direction they go. If it works out with these distributors, great. If it doesn't and they go back to Diamond and people can get their books, great. Let's just remember, let's focus on the fans. Let's focus on the retailers. Because, look, people need books they want.
Let me
It's bad enough you're already getting a lot of books published out there that no one's even buying.
let
And
me
on
let me
top, yeah.
well, I was going to say this, like a lot of these distributors also, when you get set up with them, they require you to have a certain amount of money. They require you
Hmm.
to spend a certain amount of money each month,
Yeah.
or each quarter or annually, in order to keep your discounts, or in order to just continue to be able to order from them.
Yeah.
You have to keep up these minimums. Um, so as time progresses, some of these people may not even order enough books to be able to set up an account
Hmm.
to order from DC.
Hmm.
I mean, that's going to be more people that are falling off. I mean, this move was the best move in the world for Marvel. You know,
Well, are these distributors going to? I mean, what kind of credit lines are these distributors going to
dude,
offer?
I
Because I
said
mean,
that. I
comic
don't think they're
shops
going to offer
need,
any of them.
I really would just love. Someone needs to release the breakdown, release the breakdown on how this is all
The
going to work.
breakdown cut. Release the breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And Antoine here has a good point. At Nile and Scott, has Diamond satisfied all the outstanding fees owed to DC Comics? I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I would
My
say
thing,
no.
probably not. I'm
Yeah,
not
I would say
sure.
no.
Our thing here isn't so much that DC did Diamond wrong. It's more, let's hope it's the right move for the fans,
Yeah,
right? Let's make sure, if you want to distribute through other distributors, by all means, like I'm saying, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But let's make sure that the fans get their books. That's concerning to me. It's, for small orders, for shops not taking in what they can, for not doing regular business, maybe the new distributors are working well, right? Right now.
right
But
now.
what happens when all of a sudden the gates open and everything can flood out again? You know? I just hope it works out for the fans. I hope everyone gets their money. I'm sure, in the letter there, Antoine, it says that, they were going back and forth on arrangements and deals. So I'm sure that somewhere in there they probably had that. I'm not going to speak for them. That's stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
But
But guaranteed there was probably some kind of talk about, hey, look, we'll renegotiate this deal, and how about we take what we owe you into consideration? That way
Yeah.
we don't have to legally go after these comic book shops that are already hurting, or these families that have already lost their comic book shops, to get the money from them so we can pay you.
yeah.
I mean, there's no need to kick people when they're down and try to take money from them so you can pay these other people. Again, that was the whole point of stopping it to begin with.
Yeah, so
And
no
to
one
stop
got
the
in too
hemorrhaging.
deep.
Yeah,
That was it, to stop the hemorrhaging of money.
completely.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, look, if you're not taking, I don't, I'm not going to talk any further on finances of a company that I have no clue.
Yeah, we
You know,
don't
we
know.
don't know the details. All we know is that this is a crazy move DC's making. You know, to just up and terminate its partnership with Diamond without actually seeing how everything's going to work when the gates are open, and the comics can start flowing to everyone at its normal rate.
And they talk about the comics. Who's gonna distribute their toys? Who's gonna distribute the DC Direct stuff? Like, I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything from that.
I haven't either, and right now, I guess, orders and stuff going through Diamond until June 1st with like a June 8th extension of some kind. But then after that, I guess we'll see what happens. I think the summer will hold all the key answers to our wandering thoughts and questions that we have. I just hope the fans get their stuff. And I'm a DC fan. I'm a DC guy. And
Batman, hey, what's up, man?
Batman, bro. Gotta love my B-man,
Dude,
bro.
you Batman? Batman?
I love Batman.
You a Batman?
I love Batman. I gotta get Bruce
Batman?
Timm on this show. I want to get Bruce Timm and Paul Dini on the show.
God, we need
Let's
to
have
do
a
that.
Batman the Animated Series hour. But anyways,
Everybody in the chat right now, call Bruce Timm. His number's 512. No, I'm just kidding.
So anyways, if you haven't seen it, again, this news broke out about 7 hours ago, maybe 8 hours now since we've been on. And, Diamond released their statement about an hour ago and started getting out to retailers. So it was definitely a shock that hit the system. I think the writing was kind of on the wall. And, we just wanted to give our 2 cents tonight. And hopefully we can have the Jeppies on the show and we can get their 2 cents as well.
Absolutely.
And we got Peter Samedi. Peter, how we doing? We're doing fantastic.
We're doing
wow,
good,
you can
guys.
talk in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Eddie's the best.
I love that guy.
But yeah, like, man, there's no telling. I mean, like, man, I wonder how, like, people are still just trying to get back to normal, and now they have to deal with getting signing up with 3 other distributors, 3 other people, 3 other, books to go through, of trying to figure out who has what, when, and where to make sure you get your order.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even envy the comic book people right now. And who knows, like, maybe Jesse James had it right,
He might have. I mean, but you do need new stuff to read. Good thing there's Alterna.
Yep.
The books are going to be great, and they're going to be delivered on time. But it is. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens with this. This is, pretty much breaking news as far as today's concerned. Be honest, we saw some stuff going on, but it was the response that made us really pop on for, we're just going to come on for a little bit, 15 minutes, half hour, just talk to you guys, kind of bring up the speed of what's going on. And we'll see if we can get the Jeppies on and get their thoughts on it, in the next coming days and see where they're at. So everyone, thanks for joining us tonight as we chat about the, DC terminating partnership with Diamond. And we will see you all next week. Unless some other news pops up, then you may see us pop up again unannounced. We'll see you Tuesday with another crowdfunding comics episode on Pop XP. We got Walter. We got the Simonsons on, not just Walter. We got the Simonsons on Wednesday, which is going to be great. I know. Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday. On Thursday, we have Graham Nolan on Wednesday.
I based my whole life off that guy.
Yeah, you did. You stole his signature.
It's Brian Antoine. It's all good though, brother.
That's right. That's right. All right, everyone, have a great night.
I'll be Brett. I don't care.
He'll be whatever he calls you, all right?
Whatever,
he watches the show.
Antoine wants.
We are here to serve them.
Antoine's the best.
Yeah, no, it's good to see everyone. Star Tiger, Heroin Bird, thanks for popping in. Mopsy, as always. Peter Samedi, thanks for coming in. Peter, we got to get you back on the show, man. Chat with us. Yeah, great show, guys. Thanks for popping in. We'll see you guys next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Crowdfunding Comics episode on Pop XP Tuesday. Graham Nolan on Wednesday. The Simonsons on Thursday. So everyone, have yourselves a great night, and we will see you, Zate Comics. See you, Nile and Brett. You're now Brett Blevins.
Brett Blevins.
Boom!
Brett Blevins is one of the greatest comic book artists of all time,
Yes.
and a guy that I wish I was related to. His Sleepwalker stuff
pretend.
was incredible.
You can always pretend.
Yeah, I wish.
Dr. Blevins, we're out.
Nile Scallywag. Peace.